When I was a kid, I fell in love with video games. It started from the OG Pong to retro Pokemon games like Emerald. And then I went down the Nintendo tunnel, got a Wii and a DS. But these games, in the grand scheme of things, were harmless. Then I started playing Minecraft on the computer. And on Minecraft, I started meeting other gamers online on servers and forming these online relationships. This was the gateway to something that would change the course of my life. One of these friends sent me a Dota 2 beta key. The first time I played Dota 2, I didn't get it. I didn't see the appeal. The controls were really clunky. I had to click to move my character instead of using WASD. I played 1 or 2 games and then I just quit. I didn't get it. Then a few weeks later, I decided to try it again and I got it. Oh boy, did I get it. Pretty soon after that, I started doing things like waking up before school to fit in a match, sneaking matches in at night when my family was sleeping, and just daydreaming about it all day at school. And fast forward some time, and now I was a top 500 player in Dota 2. I have 10,000 hours in the game. I love the game, and I'm scared that I'll never love anything else the same way. And here's why I'll never play again. These games, these soul-consuming games, I'll say, League of Legends, Valorant, Dota, Counter-Strike, Overwatch, Deadlock. It's the same with all these competitive games. My experience is just specifically with Dota 2, so that's what I'll speak on. And Dota narrows what brings me pleasure in life. It creates these false peak experiences that make everything else in life feel duller. It feels so incredibly good to play Dota that it makes me not want to do anything else. It's not like other video games. Other video games don't do that to me, but Dota does. Why? Well, Dota makes me feel dominant.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking good!
Intellectually superior, like some sort of demigod. I'm directly outplaying other humans in real time at something that's very cognitively and mechanically demanding. So I literally get a feeling of I'm better than you and there's nothing you can do about it. And combine this superiority rush with a feeling of achievement, because the game isn't easy and it gives you a rank for your skill. And going on a win streak and seeing my rank go up feels so viscerally satisfying. Because it's status, and we know how much humans like status. So we have the dominance rush from competition and the achievement status satisfaction from progression. And that combination is why Dota and these games are so incredibly potent. This is the perfect neurochemical cocktail. That's the peak experience, because it's the same feeling you get from achieving real goals like landing a dream job or buying a house or being the top salesman at a company. But in real life, getting this feeling takes years of work, risk, rejection, uncertainty, right? And in these games, you can get it in just 30 or 40 minutes, just sitting at home. And again, this combo, it's one of, if not the most potent neurochemical reward that humans have, because historically it meant status, resources, survival. So that's what I mean when I say Dota hijacks my brain's reward system in the perfect way. And the kicker is that it resets every match, right? The feeling is fleeting. And it's not like it's easy to win, right? Because these games, they match you up with players that are at your skill level. And then if you lose, oh man, if you lose, you feel powerless. The low is proportional to the high. And then all you want to do is get better at the game so you can win again. And you do whatever it takes to do that. So the game becomes the main focus of your life, right? Or this is what happened to me and a lot of other people that I know. It's the perfect loop. Access to the most potent human reward, intermittently, I'll come back to that in a minute, easily accessible, infinitely repeatable, but never truly satisfying. And this peak experience that I'm talking about is on top of all of the normal video game dopamine from the colors and the sounds and stuff. And you're getting a lot of that in these games. So what happened is it suppressed my desire to do anything else neurologically. It was a shadow career because it made me feel like I was being productive and achieving something when I played, when I improved, when I gained rank, but there's nothing on the other side. I wasn't building toward anything real, but it felt like I was so deeply because of the way that it hijacks your brain. It was a shadow career that was siphoning my real ambition, one dopamine hit at a time. Now I'm gonna use a word And people for some reason get really weird when I use this word. I don't know why. I think it's some sort of defense response. Anyway, the line between passion and here it is, brace yourself, addiction. The line between passion and addiction is very blurry, like too blurry. I cannot distinguish. And the further I get from it, I haven't played for a month now, the more I lean toward the addiction side of things. But it's still both for sure. I love Dota. When I'm in a Dota phase in my life, I don't feel like spending as much time with family or friends or doing normal, healthy human things. And I'm not saying that I don't do them or that you can't do them when you're playing Dota. I'm saying that I don't feel like doing it. Doing those things doesn't feel as good, which has major consequences, right? You're naturally going to do them less. I'm not as present when I am doing them. I don't show up as my best self for the people that I love because it doesn't feel good. Because Dota has sucked every ounce of dopamine from my system. So I don't really want to be present there. Or Dota's in the back of my mind because of the shadow career mechanism. And a big part of what makes the loop in these games so potent, more potent than like chess or single player competitive games, and I'm gonna get a bit technical here, guys, is there's a huge element of intermittent reinforcement at play. And that's just a psychology concept that means rewards are handed out inconsistently. And it's proven that intermittent reward evokes the strongest emotional response. And there's perfect intermittent reinforcement here because when you queue up for a match, you could get any feeling from the best comeback you've ever had where you solo carry the whole game to you completely ruining the game for your team, right? And everything in between. Because you're playing with 4 random teammates who can pick any character, and every character has different strengths or weaknesses, so the narrative arc of every game is so different. So really anything can happen. You don't know what you're in for. So it's perfect intermittent reinforcement at play here, which just compounds the potency of what I'm talking about, guys. These things are just so potent. So when I look at something in my life and I say that it narrows what brings me pleasure, it makes life duller, it makes me not want to do other things, and it takes away from my relationships, it's sus. It's sus, guys. It sounds like I'm talking about heroin. Do you guys get it? It really does. And I can only speak for myself, but man, I think this is something that we all feel, or at least most of us. Definitely to different degrees, but a lot of us don't admit it. And if you find yourself getting defensive or angry right now, maybe you're already typing a comment, right, as I'm talking, that should speak for itself. Like, why are you irritated? Why? I'm just a guy sharing my experience through a screen to you. It's a defense mechanism. Like, wake up, wake up. And whenever I think about this, I always think about what Arteezy said back in the day in an interview. And if you don't play Dota, Arteezy's one of the biggest Dota personalities / pros. And he said, I quote, "Dota is not a job or a hobby. Dota is a state of being. You either are Dota or you're not." This quote resonates so deeply with me. I find it to be 100% true. And this is me talking right now. This is not Arteezy. But when you are Dota, it's hard to be anything else. It really is, guys. Because even when I'm not playing, I'm still consumed by it, right? Watching content about it, YouTube videos, streams. I'm thinking about builds, about matchups. I'm mentally replaying games, thinking about how I could have won. I'm trying to get better, right? It becomes my main quest in life. It takes over everything, consciously and subconsciously. It's like dystopian, what these games are and what they do to you, right? The spell that they cast on you. It's so funny because the way that I got into these games functions exactly like the drug world. You know, people talk about gateway drugs where maybe in a vacuum they aren't terrible, but the problem is that they lead you to trying more devastating drugs later. And it's the exact same thing here. And man, it's so incredibly obvious when I step away from it. I haven't played in a full month and the world is brighter. But when you're in the trenches, you're so deep in a dream, in a beautiful nightmare, that you just don't get it. And what's happening to me, why I say the world's getting brighter, part of the reason I love Dota so much is because I'm an extremely competitive, ambitious, intelligent person. And all of that energy of mine was just being absorbed by Dota 2, right? This competitive drive, this need to shit on noobs, this powerful energy that's just who I am, that is the spirit of a warlord or a politician or a CEO, you know? These are the people who are the most at risk for falling into these games, like me. And it's ironic because these are the people with, you know, some of the most potential, right, guys? These games are designed to exploit our strengths and hook us. And now since quitting, what's happening is I'm channeling all of that energy that new energy that was being absorbed into Dota that I have essentially unlocked into things that will bear fruit for me, right? This YouTube channel, my stream, my relationships, instead of just siphoning all my power into the unfruitful tree of Dota 2. But also, just from a day-to-day perspective, the world is brighter. Things just feel better, right? Because these games, they don't just compete for your time. They actively make the world duller. Everything else feels unrewarding by comparison, just neurologically. It was literally like Dota was bodying out everything else in my mind. And I use that analogy because other things would try to push their way in, but Dota was strong and it would keep bodying the other things out. But I haven't played for a month now. Right? My dopamine system is resetting. And what I realized is that my Dota self is a shriveled version of my non-Dota self. I'm getting satisfaction from normal human things again, right? I'm getting dopamine from real achievement and real life and little things like smiling at the front desk lady in my building, making people laugh, connecting with people, even something as small as warming up my cold coffee instead of rushing to my PC. You know, it sounds small, but these are the moments that make you a fuller, less shriveled person. They give you personality. And another example is I visited my parents for Thanksgiving. And my dad said I seemed sharper, which I thought was really interesting. But I played cards with my grandparents. It just lit up the room, right? Like just bantering with my grandpa, really getting into the game, fully engaged. And during shriveled Dota phases, that would not have happened because I'm just duller, right? I would want to engage, but neurologically, I just didn't feel like it. And you can't fake it. You can't fake your dopamine system. Also, generally, it feels like my brain just put on glasses. I just feel smarter. I remember things better. I understand systems better. I'm thinking more clearly. And why? Well, we know that there's a lot that goes on in our subconscious minds, and obviously I can't get a glimpse into mine. I'm pretty sure that when I'm playing Dota, my subconscious mind only thinks about Dota. And that has implications about my clarity of thought and everything like that. I'm also sleeping better and doing cardio now. I fixed my sleep schedule. And yes, these habits help a lot with what I'm talking about, but quitting Dota has enabled me to form these healthy habits, right? It is so much easier to do things when Dota is not in the picture of my life. So it compounds like that. Dota has taught me a lot though, right? I don't want to fully vilify it. The concepts I learned from Dota will take me extremely far in life. Dota mimics life insanely well in a surreal way. And improvement in itself is a skill that I got really good at. But the irony is that actively playing prevents you from applying these skills that you learn through the game to life. So I'm quitting and I'm cashing in on what I learned. And I love this framing. It just fills me with joy. I'm so optimistic for the future. And if this resonates with you, if you feel what I feel, that whatever your game is takes more than it gives for you, I urge you to quit with me. And you know if it does. You don't need me to tell you. And a very small percentage of you probably have healthy balances. This is extremely hard in my experience. If you think you have a healthy balance, chances are you're coping. But just be honest with yourself, because your brain will play tricks on you. It will cope and it will tell you things like, I'll quit later. I'll quit after I get X rank. That's such a classic, but I'm here to tell you, I'm a very high rank. You're always gonna want more. Like my brain did the same thing to me, right? Just quit after you get top 100. But then when I hit top 100, I'm gonna want top 50. This is just your brain playing tricks on you to justify playing the game, because that's what your brain wants to do. Your brain wants to play the game. That's the direction that it's pointing you towards. And I promise you, you don't need the badge to satisfy your ego. It's not worth it to play just to get a badge. This is your life. Your life doesn't start later. How you spend your days is how you spend your life. Doesn't start tomorrow. So if you don't want to spend your life and energy here, don't, period. And if you do, that's completely fine. This is a deeply personal thing. Absolutely no judgment. I'm just sharing how I feel in my experience. And if there's someone in your life that this is happening to, I'm sorry. It's heartbreaking to watch. And I know because, I broke my own heart. And if you do want to quit with me, join my Discord. I just made a specific channel for people quitting competitive games for support from me and my community. And also, I need support sometimes too. It's not easy. This is not an easy thing to do, to quit, especially alone. Or if you just like the energy that I'm putting out here, join the Disc. I think the community that I'm building there is really special. And you'll see once you come in what I mean.